Greetings, everybody. June 10th, 2025 from Los Angeles. I thought I'd come on here and give you an update. I'm actually in a particular part of Los Angeles, farthest southern tip, Long Beach. And we had some really exciting things happening today in Long Beach. But first, I want to thank the people that donated to the supply fund. We are now going to go out and order more medical supplies to deliver tomorrow night to the front lines. So the biggest protest is in downtown Los Angeles, but there are also protests all over in lots of different neighborhoods and towns. And I want to tell you a little bit about what was going on in Long Beach today, because Long Beach was standing on business today. So for those who don't know, Long Beach is where the ports are. Long Beach and San Pedro are the furthest southern tip of LA. And the LA port is one of the largest ports. I should know this. It's like one of the largest ports in the world where there's the most trade. And so Long Beach is also the longest beach. Is it in California or is it in the whole country? I don't remember. A very long beach, a very big port. And Long Beach is kind of a unique little area because we are incredibly diverse and progressive. So today my organization was going down to City Hall to speak out against SpaceX, something we've been doing for months now. Unfortunately, Starboy has a contract with the city of Long Beach for his Dragon rocket launch program. And there's a lot of people here who aren't happy about that and are trying to do something about that. So we've been working with a lot of different organizations. There are several organizations who are all working on the same project, and we all showed up in force today at City Council. But that's not all. There was also a giant rally today at the City Council, outside of the council, about immigrant rights and protesting against ICE. And so we went from speaking in our little public comment inside the chambers to going outside to this amazing rally with so many people, and it just kept growing and growing. And then we marched and gathered some more steam and some more people. And we did that because ICE came to Long Beach today. So the thing is, ICE is going to different neighborhoods on different days. And so that's why there's just different protests popping up everywhere. Basically, whenever ICE comes to someone's neighborhood or town, that's when people say, okay, we got to stand up, we got to protest. But the main protest is in downtown LA. That's everything that you're seeing on the news, and a lot of the live coverage is from that. But this thing is spreading like wildfire. It started in San Diego, Chicago, Minneapolis, New York. It's here. It's going to keep spreading. Because as long as they're sending out these Gestapos to these different places, they're just going to spark more and more people to stand up and fight back. So I just want to reiterate that I'm feeling really good about this. Obviously, it's really sad that people are being mistreated, that they're being kidnapped off the street by these people who don't even have badges or warrants. But if you look at the bigger picture, we are growing in unity. People are coming together. When I'm going to these events, there's just a lot of people driving by and honking and cheering. People on the sidewalk are, cheering and saying yes. And yeah, there were a couple boneheads today. There was one woman in a car, who, was acting like she was going to run us over. And then when the marchers went into the street, across the street, and then there was another dude in a Mercedes who was really aggressively coming towards me like he was going to hit me. And, one of my comrades had to yell at him because she's like, oh, I'm going to go say something. So there's always a couple boneheads out there, right? But they are a really tiny minority, right? Those really selfish people who are just caught up in these really backwards ways of thinking. They're a really small minority, I'm telling you. The unity is growing, this, collective coming together, because you know what? Most of us are really proud of being Americans, and we want to live in a democracy, and everything else pales in comparison to that united vision, right? Yeah, we have differences. We have different opinions on different things. We have different backgrounds, different cultural practices. But you know what we have in common? We all want to be able to vote, right? We want to pick our leaders. We want to have a say. We want to live in a place where, there are rules, there are laws that people have to follow. We want to live in a place where people don't just get to pay somebody to not follow the laws. We want to live in a place where if you commit a crime, you go to jail. Doesn't matter what you look like or what kind of money you have. You just have to go to jail if you commit a crime. Like, we all have those values. That's what we have in common. We want to live in a democracy. And so, it's really interesting because obviously before this happened, right, before November, we weren't all on the same page, and there was a lot of division, and there were a lot of people who were like, well, I'm okay if those people get arrested at greater numbers than these people. That's okay with me. And I'm okay if women don't have access to the same jobs I do. And, I'm okay. Like, there was a lot of that, right? But that's changing because we're uniting against a common foe. And so spiritually, this is often the purpose of villains, right? When a villain shows up in your life, whether it's a personal relationship or the super villain like this, where they're actually trying to, negatively impact millions of people, whenever a villain shows up, they always have a spiritual purpose in your life. And this set of we have two super villains, right? This bromance of two supervillains, which luckily is on the rocks, they're here for a reason. We are being united. We are getting united in reaction to everything they're doing. We're getting some clarity as a nation about who we are, what we believe in, and what we really want. And that's a good thing. And so we just have to keep that in mind. We got to keep that focus, right? We got to keep our focus on the spiritual progress that we're making, which I know is difficult at times. But I'm here in LA seeing some of this madness up close and personal, and I still have absolute hope. Like last night when we were coming back from the medic tent, there was just all of this graffiti. And normally I'm not a big fan of graffiti, but it's context, right? What the graffiti was showing us was that there were all of these people, all of these protesters downtown who were tagging all the buildings saying, no, we're not going to put up with this. We're not going to let these people come in here and kidnap our neighbors. No. And to me, it was just such great evidence of this unity. So I have a question for you. I want you to tell me in the comments, what kind of unity are you seeing where you are? What evidence do you have in your neighborhood that there's unity? Like, tell me, am I right? Are you seeing the evidence? And then also maybe, what are you doing to create unity with people around you? Yeah, I really want to know. So let me know.